I watched all 3 seasons of that Scream TV series.
There's 3 seasons.
The third season makes Riverdale look like The Godfather. It is so fucking stupid. The first season was like, it had some parts which were not great. It was like, it was okay. The second season, I don't remember what happens in it, but the third season is so fucking stupid. It's basically 13 Reasons Why mixed with IMDb.
No, it's like Jesus. 13 Reasons Why season 4 mixed with IMDb.
I think that how do I say this? If they're going to turn the whole Saw franchise into a TV series spin-off, it needs to follow the rules and lessons learned with the Chucky TV series as opposed to Scream TV series or, I love how camp it is, but Freddy's Nightmares, if you haven't watched Freddy's Nightmares, please go and watch a few episodes. It is so batshit crazy, but it works because Nightmare on Elm Street is a crazy film franchise. Yeah, so many things I watch it and I'm like, why is this happening? Why is he turning into a motorcycle or why is a girl in a roach hotel?
Yeah, you never know. Maybe they'll just spontaneously just reveal another Saw film like they did with that new X film, which I saw, by the way.
Is that good?
It's better than average, and it's kind of cool because it sort of goes back to obviously 70s and how they film it. So there's quite a few angles in that film, which is sort of very 1970s type horror film.
Yeah,
it's all right. Probably got a more hype than Rotten. Every time Rotten Tomatoes, is it Rotten Tomatoes? Has 100% or something. I always get a bit weird about that because I'm like, it's not going to be good then.
I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes anymore. Don't trust it.
Same.
I did for a little bit there, but it's wrong. And reason being, and I'm going to throw this movie under the fucking bus where it belongs. And it's a movie. I think it's just called Pig. It's got Nicolas Cage in it. And it is the worst pile of shit, and it has fucking stellar reviews and all. Couldn't believe it. Sat through this shit, and it's basically about a guy whose truffle pig gets stolen, and it's meant to be all dark and meaningful, and it's just pretentious crap that never goes anywhere and nothing happens, and it's a bad movie with bad acting in it, and I think among a list of about 20 reviews, there was one or two, all of them were gleamingly positive. And then there was one or two that were accurate and sort of what is this drivel? What the fuck? Why are people here kissing this ass of this movie just because it's really arty and shit? Don't watch that movie. It's a terrible movie. But I'll forgive you, Nicolas Cage, because you're Nicolas Cage.
There's just to add to that too. So I am always on this website called bloodydisgusting.com. This is not bad, but I used to trust their reviews all the time because they have some, that website was established in 2001 and they've been spot on about almost every single horror movie. So I'm like, all right, they were right when they said that this movie showed promise, but it was shit with its writing. So I learned to trust it. There's one review by Brad Miska, and he said the Blair Witch remake in 2016 was a game changer. Everyone's going to love this movie. His review was so polished and very happy with the movie that I thought, this is great. I'm going to go watch this movie now. So I went and watched Blair Witch. I have never wanted to cut my eyes out so much because of how fucking stupid that movie was. It also made the absolute sin when it comes to horror movies of being completely boring. So I don't trust Bloody Disgusting anymore. I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes. There's some websites like that where I think, how much were these reviewers paid to talk up this horror movie?
Absolutely.
Funny enough, with Rotten Tomatoes too, I can't remember what disaster movie it is. I think it might be Geostorm, but they got a 94, 95% rating, but the audience rating was 31%. Yeah. So if I'm going to trust a site like Rotten Tomatoes, I sometimes look at the audience score, but then there's some different variations where the critics didn't like a movie, but the audiences loved it. But then I might not like the movie, so I'm like, critics were kind of right on this one. But
I find that Rotten Tomatoes is either, if it's a low rating, it's too harsh, and if it's a high rating, it's too high.
Yeah.
There's been a few movies that I like, and I go and check the score, and I'm like, that's pretty rough. That's pretty fucking rough. But the Joker is not 100%. It's like I enjoyed Joker, but like that movie is not like it ain't Citizen Kane, baby.
When X was, I got an email by Foyts about X coming out, and it said 100% initially in the email, and then like a week later it said 96%. But like, I don't know, it's better than average, but I don't know, it's different. But it wouldn't say it's like a game changer or like 10 out of 10. But I tend to go like Justin, I do what you do, and I often look at that, the audience poll, and it's always like on an A to, is it A to F or A to E or whatever it is? It's always generally sits around a B plus, or a C. If it's a C, I tend to avoid, but if it's like a B or a B plus, I'm like, yeah, that sounds good.
I'm the complete opposite. If I see a movie has an F rating, I buy tickets that same day and go and watch it. There's so many shit movies I've watched that I adore. Like there's The Box from 2009 with Cameron Diaz and James Marsden. That whole movie is one complete bullshit fuckery around, what if I press this button and someone died, but I get $1 million? And the whole movie just goes complete batshit crazy. Nothing makes sense. I can do a whole analysis on this movie, and I probably will in a future installment. But because it got an F rating by the audience, I had to see what this movie was about. And do I think that it deserved that F rating? Absolutely. Do I love this movie and will I defend it to the death? 100%. It is, if movie critics / marketing teams, if they can turn negative reviews around to make it seem more exciting, they could easily recoup their box office success. I think it's also like a bit of a lesson learned from, I don't know if either of you have seen Mother, that 2017 movie with Jennifer Lawrence. So
I like that movie.
Like it's, I won't go into like the content of the movie, but the marketing campaign behind that was around, like I remember watching, I think it was It. Yeah, the first It movie remake. And the trailer came on, and instead of the trailer talking about the actual content of the movie, they were like, this movie was shit. What the fuck did I watch? I've never seen this movie again. Like that made me like be inquisitive about it and be like, oh, what is this movie about? So then when I realized
was that the campaign for Mother?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I went into that movie like we just came across it on Netflix. Like I watched that movie with my mum, and we just sat there like jaws dropped, like what the fuck? Because we just read that little blurb of just like, oh, out of towners come to the house and weird stuff starts to happen. Oh yeah, okay. So I had no idea what I was getting into. So I think that's interesting that it was marketed that way, because that is a fucking wacky movie.
Yeah, like Darren Aronofsky, who's done like other mindfuck movies like Requiem for a Dream. It's like I did see some parts of the marketing where they're like from the director of Requiem for a Dream and Pi and the Fountain and some other bullshit like Black Swan. Like they were trying to tie that element together. But what made me go and see that movie was that turning the negative reviews into a look how shit this movie is. That means you have to go see it.
Yeah.
So it can work, but yeah, I don't think it would necessarily work for something like a splatter movie like Hostel or Would You Rather. And complete side note, I have so many good memories of watching horror movies at your house, Coop, especially with Yvonne. I remember we would watch like Nightmare on Elm Street, like The Ring, and your mum would do things like she would purposely scream to like get us like to jump.
Yeah. She'd always try and scare us and shit whenever we were in there.